Hello, my name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. I help people getting in the self-storage business, and I help people who want to grow their self-storage business strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And this episode brings to an end our series of episodes on true wealth. And to see where we've been and what we've been doing, in week one, we got that you can have the best laid strategy and plans there are for growing a self-storage business. However, if you have a disempowering relationship to money and success, it doesn't matter how good your plans are. What's going to happen is less than optimal. Odds are, if you're filtering a strategy through a disempowering relationship with money, disempowering relationship with success, what comes out on the other side is not what you really intended to come out. And then in the second week, we went real deep into what causes that. And what it is, it's the stories that we create about ourselves and our relationship to money and success. And then last week, we created a new, if you did the work, you created a new, powerful, exciting, inspiring relationship to money and success. Now what? So you look out into the world and what do you see? Not that. Instantly you see not that. You will see little to no evidence in the world reflecting back what you've created for yourself in your life. Little, nothing. Here's what I want you to know. First of all, that's normal. And second of all, that will change. So you create a new paradigm, a new possibility for yourself and your life around your relationship to money and success. And instantly what happens is the gap, the distance, the space between what you've created and where you are now immediately shows up. And there's nothing in the world to really point to that would reflect back what you've created. So what I want to go through is what I call the art and science of keeping alive and having what you've created truly impact your life. Now, I call it a science because it is a step-by-step, duplicatable process. I didn't create it. I've read about it. It's not something I created, but it's a duplicatable, step-by-step process that people who have altered their relationship to anything have used to the new paradigm and possibility for their life that they created take effect. And the art is because it is very subtle. The difference in thinking between what we're going to talk about that works and not works for you in your life is very subtle, very slight. It's a real art to doing it, and there is a process, a duplicatable process designed by others who've gone before us. And did you hear what I said? The subtle difference in how we think. Now, here's the reality. I've said very often we have a weak relationship to language. Well, if you think our relationship to language is weak, our relationship to thinking is very weak. But it's not your fault. You're not really taught how to think. You're not taught how to think critically. And I think that the challenge is our mind is constantly thinking. And because we hear we hear these thoughts continually, we just have it that we're thinking. Well, try on that you're not thinking. Those thoughts are 99% of those thoughts you've had millions of times. Very little of your thinking is new, strategic, critical thinking. So we're going to talk about a way to create some critical thinking that will keep alive what you've created for yourself. Kind of a sidebar. Do you set aside time to think? Might be a good idea to do that. Some of the most powerful people I've known and people I respect the most set aside time to think. Now, that's a different conversation, but let's get into the process now. If we want to find out what's so about something, usually what we do is we look into the world, gather information, and we think about it, and that's what informs us what's so. Now that's great if you're getting statistics, if you're getting numbers, if you're analyzing certain aspects of your business, but that type of thinking will not keep alive what you've created. Here's the thing, it takes zero mental power, zero discipline to look into the world, see that you have very little money in your checkbook and say, oh, I'm poor, or oh, there it is again. It takes zero mental discipline to do that. It takes extreme mental discipline to look into your checkbook, see that there's very little money, but then look to your vision of what you've created for yourself in your life and have that inform you what's possible in your life. The hardest work you'll ever do is this type of thinking, is looking into your vision, having your vision inform you, having what you've created inform you what's possible for yourself in your life. It takes extreme discipline and extreme mental clarity to not judge your life by circumstances. All people who've altered their life and altered their relationship to success and money have done this. They have created a new paradigm for themselves, and they allow that new paradigm to inform them what's possible in their life, not the circumstances in the world. Now, I'm not saying this is positive thinking. It doesn't take much mental discipline to say nice, positive things. And I'm not saying be delusional. If you have no money in your checking account, scramble, get the bills paid, do what you need to do to pay your bill. But what's possible for yourself in your life, don't let the fact you're scrambling once again to pay those bills inform you about your relationship to money and success. What you should allow to inform you about your relationship to money and success is what you've created. Look to your vision to inform you what's possible now, and what will happen is you will start taking actions that are congruent with somebody who lives that way of life. And what eventually happens, sometimes actually fairly quickly, is that by taking these actions, you're taking different actions. Why? You're taking different actions because you're allowing something different to inform you who you are and what's possible for yourself in your life. And because you're taking those different actions, very quickly, those actions will begin to start producing different results. And then all of a sudden, the world now is reflecting back to you what you've created for yourself in your life. You're still looking to the future, but you can also look out into the world. Why? Because the world's also beginning to reflect to you who you are and what's possible in your relationship to money and success. Who was it that said, don't judge the world by appearances? In the book, Think and Grow Rich, there it is again, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill informs us this is the hardest type of thinking that a human being will do. To actually have the future inform them of what's possible in the present. It doesn't take much to look to the past. It takes a lot of discipline to look to the future. That's one of the main powers of the human mind. You do that. You look into the future that you've created for yourself and have that inform you what's possible for yourself in your life. You will take new actions, different actions, actions that produce results. It does happen, but it takes mental discipline and it takes a little bit of time. But my promise to you is, if you can discipline yourself to do that, and get present enough in your critical thinking that you know when you're allowing yourself to be informed by the future and when you're not, it'll happen quicker than you can imagine. Here's what I'm creating. Here's my story about you. I know that you're smart enough to do this. It has nothing to do with smart. I know you're a disciplined person. Why? Because you're studying about how to create a business, and not any business, the self-storage business. That is a very smart move, because the self-storage business is the greatest business on earth for the small investor. So I'm creating that you have everything it takes to do what we've talked about this month. Don't be burdened by a disempowering relationship to money. Don't be burdened by a disempowering relationship to success. There's no reason for it. You now know what to do. So thank you very much. Next week, we're going to talk about where we are in this self-storage cycle, in the economy, in the industry, and we'll even talk about certain markets. So I look forward to being with you then, and thank you very much for this. Let me know, leave a comment, send an email, let me know if you found this helpful. This series was a result of people requesting it, so I want to know if this supported you in altering your relationship. If anyone needs any help with it, reach out and let me know. And I thank you very much. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I want you to know that version 2 of the Storage World Analyzer will be coming out soon, second quarter 2017. We are going to have a much upgraded, fantastic program. I've never been more excited than I am now about it. So I look forward to sharing this with you soon, and thank you very much. Talk to you later.